The Middle Ages marked a dark chapter in the history of Western Europe. The powerful old Roman Empire, the vanguard of the continent, had fallen. Europe was in chaos, torn apart by squabbling kings, aristocrats, and rival popes. Throughout the continent, social and economic backwardness afflicted the populations. This was the period when Christian Europe plunged into the Dark Ages. Despite medieval Europe's ignorance and animosity, made worse by religious fanaticism, the future of its people would be shaped by the influence of its powerful adversary across the Mediterranean. There, deep in the Arabian desert, rose the majestic Islamic Caliphate of the Abbasids. In the 10th century, its capital, Baghdad, was the cosmopolitan center of the world. The pulsing hub for world trade and the seat of higher learning, Baghdad's influence reached the Europeans increasingly through Spanish Andalusia and later on through Sicily, close to the heart of the fallen Roman Empire. All Europe was affected by the currents of thought and ideas that spread from Muslim centers and frontier cities like Toledo and Cordoba. Arab science and philosophy were taught at universities in Paris and other major European cities. Muslim thinkers, among them Al-Razi, Averroes, Albucasis, and Avicenna, had disciples throughout the Christian world. Thus, the Renaissance of Europe was directly and deeply influenced by the Muslims. This is a debt often forgotten by the West. Verily, in this Quran is a message for people who would truly worship God. We sent thee not, Muhammad, but as a mercy for all creatures. When Europe had limped out of the Dark Ages, serious rivalry began to set between individual nations. With increased military and naval capabilities, Portugal and Spain took to the seas in their bid to seek exclusive trade monopoly, leading Europe's 15th century charge against the Ottomans, who had dominated world trade. The sea voyages of Columbus and Magellan subsequently made history, bestowed with the highest mention in the annals of explorations. They were celebrated not just for their exploits, but also for setting the stage for Europe's world conquest. Ironically, the Europeans had relied on the use of Arab geographic signs and instruments and data compiled from pioneering explorers like Ibn Majid and Ibn Battuta. Alas, how sad and ironic it is to realize that Western explorations were in fact new crusades hidden in the form of trade missions, spawning trade wars and Western colonization. If the truth had been in accord with their desires, truly the heavens and the earth and all beings therein would have been in confusion and corruption. Nay, we have sent them their admonition, but they turn away from their admonition. Islam's legacy of peace and progress was consequently buried under the forces of imperialism.